I have seen way too many people lose money on node projects in the last few months, and I had to make a video, a very quick video, to show you how they work. So please don't invest in another node project until you've watched this very short video. The first and most important thing you're going to have to understand is that the word node is actually just a marketing word. So there are nodes, and blockchains do need nodes in order to operate and run, and those that run these nodes operate what's called master nodes. And you can almost think of a master node as a server that's helping to run the entire blockchain. The problem here is that 99% of these node projects that you've heard of and probably invested in are not actually creating nodes. Some of them literally create nothing, no attempt at all to create nodes. Some of them will create different types of nodes that don't actually generate any kind of income. They're once again just for marketing and just to help people think that they're actually buying an asset. So that probably leaves you asking, well, how are they able to make all of these payouts and give me all of these rewards if they're not actually creating any nodes that are actually making money? And the actual answer to that question is kind of scary. They are only getting money to pay you out from newer users, meaning that the only way they can pay out the old people that purchased and bought into these node projects is by bringing in more people. And when those people bring in their money, they take that money and they give it to the old people who initially bought. Now, I don't know about you, but I've heard of a word that describes almost this exact thing, and it's not a great word. In fact, if we go and look at what the definition of a Ponzi scheme is, it says it's a form of fraud in which belief in the success of a non-existent enterprise, nodes perhaps, is fostered by the payment of quick returns to the first investors from money invested by later investors. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds eerily similar to what I just described.
It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not even a scheme per se.
I have to go make a call. So the only way these projects are surviving is two methods. One, they're bringing in new users with new money that they can pay to the old users who are required to get rewards. The second way is they try to use heavy tokenomics. Now, if you're not familiar with tokenomics is where they build the code of the coin to do certain things. For example, you could create something in the code of the coin that says anytime someone tries to sell this coin, we charge a 20% transaction fee. And that transaction fee actually goes back to buy more of the coin. And they try to use that to potentially balance out the heavy buying pressure that they're going to feel, right? And then they also use that to try to incentivize you to not sell because you're going to lose 20%. Instead of selling, why don't you just buy more and buy more of this project and continue to dump your money into this project? So when they code these coins, it really incentivizes you not to sell, but to continue to reinvest your funds. Now, that's all fine and dandy until you get to this point where everybody's ready to pull out their funds, especially the initial investors that have probably made a good chunk of money at this point. Probably the best example is Strongblock. And I talked about Strongblock a while back on this channel. We made a tutorial and I mentioned that it did not seem sustainable in that tutorial. That was right about here somewhere, but as you can see, it launched and it started to bring in new users like crazy. And those new users were buying and then they were reinvesting, right? And you could see the coin price going up as these new users kept coming in and the old users just kept buying more and not trying to pull out money. But eventually it got so high that all these initial people that bought, at $40 and had a ton of nodes, they were able to start pulling money out, and they did. They started to pull out huge chunks of money, and once sales actually start happening and people start trying to pull money out of these node projects, this is what happens. You can see Strongblock pretty much petered out into non-existence. Now, they did a coin swap somewhere in here, and there were some other things, but essentially you can see that essentially it ended up right back where it started, and all these people that bought in this big mountaintop right there were basically just exit liquidity for the people that bought in the beginning. Here's an even scarier one, a project I got in recently and put in very little money because I kind of figured this would happen. You can see it was called Node Grid, and you can see they hyped it all up and they launched and everybody got in, and then everybody tried to get their money out quickly. And as everybody tried to get their money out, it tanked, causing more people to try to get their money out. And you can see that's a pretty dreadful looking chart. And sadly, that's the chart on a vast majority of these node projects. And everybody that buys along this journey right here ends up losing their money and paying the people that got in right at the very, very beginning. So all I'm asking is that you take this into your mind, and the next time someone approaches you with an incredible node project that's going to pay you 1% a day for the rest of your life, I ask that you'll ask the question, where is this node project going to get its money? What real world money is going to come in to keep sustaining the payouts that this project is supposedly going to pay me for the long term? Now, I'm going to leave a link right here to pretty much the only node project that I'm still in, the only one that I actually still trust. It's still risky, absolutely, but it actually creates real nodes. These real nodes actually create real money. They've got a long-term game plan, all of that fun stuff. So we'll leave a link to that up here. And regardless of whether you sign up for that project, please, please, please remember that you are the only one in charge of your money in crypto. There's no one that's going to come save you. There's no one that's going to do research for you and keep you from losing your money. It's on you. And that means you've got to do more research, and you've got to look into these projects deeper and ask the hard questions, or you're going to lose a lot of your money in the crypto space. And lastly, I know that the crypto space is all about hype, and a lot of people aren't interested in hearing honest, true opinions. So if you are interested in hearing honest, true opinions, go ahead and click subscribe, perhaps even give the video a like. Thanks so much for watching.